What's going on, everybody? How you doing? What's up? Anyways, I'm going to continue my series today on intermittent fasting, and we're going to talk about how to know if you're not eating enough, and that's a big mistake people make when they're doing intermittent fasting and ketosis. You might have noticed I just published an episode of the Warrior Soul podcast. And I want to encourage you all to listen to the Warrior Soul podcast. That is my podcast, and on it I deliver tools, tactics, and ideas to help U.S. military veterans and active duty military members to live their best lives. And even though it's not exclusively fitness, there's a lot of fitness-related stuff on there. I've talked to Gary Tobbs, the author of Good Calories, Bad Calories, and the Case Against Sugar, Dr. Terry Walls, Dr. Dominic D'Agostino, both experts in paleo and in the ketogenic diet. I've talked to Thomas DeLauer, huge fitness model and expert on intermittent fasting. And I've talked to Drew Manning on there and a whole host of others, including Les Stroud, the Survivor Man, and a bunch of really other cool people. Chris Bell from Bigger, Stronger, Faster, all of them. So definitely check out the Warrior Soul podcast. You can find it over at www.warriorsoulagoji.com. Now, onto intermittent fasting and whether or not you're eating enough calories. How do you know if you're not eating enough calories? And as I said, this is a huge mistake that both people who do the ketogenic diet and who do intermittent fasting make. This is a big mistake in intermittent fasting because a lot of times people mistake fasting for starving. Fasting is not starving. It just means that you're eating within a time restricted window of 6 to 8 hours, right? So you're only eating during that 6 to 8 hours throughout the day, depending on how long you want your fast to be. But when it comes down to it, you know, a lot of people will get into this and they'll experience a bunch of different symptoms, and it's because they're not eating enough calories. Now, not eating enough calories there's a lot more to be concerned about here than whether or not you lose all your gains. You can go into adrenal burnout because you can get massive influxes of cortisol, which can have a huge effect on your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. You can end up getting massive bouts of insomnia. You can experience extreme depression. A whole host of health issues and mental health issues can occur because you're not getting what you need in your diet. So what are some of the initial signs you should look out for? So number one is chronic fatigue. Like, you're literally tired all day long. Doesn't matter how much you sleep, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter how much coffee has no effect on you whatsoever. That is a really big sign of chronic fatigue. And it's also coupled with irritability, being in a bad mood all the time, blowing up on people, not really wanting to be around other people. That's another big sign that you're not eating enough. Another one is being cold all the time. If your skin temperature is constantly cold, if you feel like you can't get warm and you're constantly trying to warm yourself up, and really intolerant of the cold, that's a really good sign that you're not getting enough calories. Another one is not being able to sleep. No matter how tired you are, you're just staring up at the ceiling the whole time you're in bed and you're not able to sleep, not able to get a restful sleep either. You wake up feeling almost more tired than you did before you went to bed. That's another sign that you're not getting enough calories. And beyond that, I think that covers most of the ones that are really important and that wouldn't be coupled with anything else. So what should you do about it? Well, obviously you want to eat more, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting enough calories, at least meeting your basal metabolic requirements. Now, there's plenty of BMR calculators here on the internet that you can check out. You also might want to start programming your food into MyFitnessPal to actually see how many calories you're getting per day. I don't recommend doing that forever because that could be a pain in the ass, just pulling out your phone all the time, programming everything in. But a short period of time for like 10 days, trying to see what you're putting into your body, and then after a while it becomes habit. Also, not relying on junk food. when you break your fast. A lot of times you break your fast and people jump straight onto the junk food. And what happens with junk food is it fills you up quite a bit. You get very satiated when you eat certain types of junk food, and before you know it, you're filling yourself up with junk food, but you're not including all the nutrient dense stuff that you need to keep your body functioning. So, hold off on, if you're going to treat yourself or anything like that, my recommendation is to eat all the other food first and then treat yourself toward the end of your eating window, so that you at least know you got everything you need for your body to function. And obviously, I don't recommend eating junk food all the time. I just understand that we're all human here and some of us want to enjoy ourselves. So if you want to have a cheat meal, just put it toward the end of your eating window. And also make sure that you are staying adequately hydrated, because if you get dehydrated, that could have a huge effect on your appetite. It could go either way. Sometimes people get dehydrated and they're hungry all the time. Sometimes people get dehydrated and they are feeling they're feeling like they don't want to eat too much. So make sure you're staying adequately hydrated. Make sure you're getting your mineral intake. And another big tip here, and I mentioned that you're feeling like you can't sleep, then have some carbs toward the end of the day. Cook yourself up some brown rice pasta, or cook yourself up some white rice or something like that, and get some carbs into your system prior to going to bed, and that can actually really, really help you to get back to sleep. And so that's about all I got. This is a short video today. Just want to remind you guys, make sure you're eating enough calories. Just because you're fasting or doing the ketogenic diet doesn't mean that you're immune from being a human being. So make sure you're getting enough calories. You really want to make sure that you're keeping your body running, keeping that metabolism going. And if you're interested in learning more about ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting, make sure you check out my course, Warrior Soul Keto Camp. It is the most complete keto course on the internet, and we're running it for a very, very low price right now. So definitely check that out. Thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Peace.